I am Dr. Okbalugo Mnabuezi, and I'm the project manager for Beyond Status Quo in low and middle income countries. Beyond Status Quo is an innovative advocacy as well as implementation project targeted at addressing three key issues in low and middle income countries. One is on the well-being of girls and young women in low and middle income countries. Secondly, for the well-being of children under the age of 18 in low and middle income countries. And lastly, is to ensure adequate healthcare delivery in low and middle income countries. Of course, by virtue of their name, low and middle income countries have little access to funds, but then they are also plagued with a few other problems, ranging from mismanagement of the funds available down to cultural, religious, and socio-economic problems. The advocacy for the well-being of young girls and women in low and middle income countries, we assess to ensure adequate access to education as well as other basic needs for girls and young women in low and middle income countries. We also ensure equitable opportunities to hold offices, both public and private sector, in low and middle income countries. We also sought to address and cause an end to female genital mutilation, the female child molestation, including forceful marriage, trafficking of women, and a few other things occurring in low and middle income countries. And lastly, ensure to promote fair grants for women to own as well as grow their businesses in low and middle income countries. For that, on the children, we assess to ensuring that children have access to basic amenities of food, clothing, and shelter in low and middle income countries. We also sought to ensure that they have formal and or vocational education to set them at a nice pace to contend with children all over the world. And lastly, to create a fair ground where children can grow, develop, as well as explore their potentials towards becoming the adults that they dream of. And lastly, for the healthcare delivery, Beyond Status Quo, to address the problem of the healthcare system, having a robust healthcare delivery system with close partnership from both government and private stakeholders to ensure that adequate care is got from hospitals and all centers of care, ranging from actual clinical treatment, laboratory investigation, radiological investigation, down to other things as low as courtesy, which is so important in proficient healthcare delivery. We also want to ensure that there is a robust emergency medical service, wherein in low and middle income country you can get help even outside the walls of the hospital with well dedicated ambulance, possibly dedicated roads for emergency entry as well as exit, where this ambulance can move and transport casualties to hospitals or other centers of definitive care. And lastly, we also sought to have a scenario in low and middle income countries where we have at least one proficient first aider per household. With these, we'll be able to achieve great strides, both in actually achieving the Millennium Development Goals, which ideally we should have moved past, but the low and middle income countries are still lagging behind, and of course give us the right trajectory into achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and achieving other goals to make low and middle income countries better place to live in. Thank you.